Wow. Wow. We're going way back in time right now.
Oh yeah.
To a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars for the I almost said Super Famicom. For the Famicom, and this is straight from Japan. Overnighted video games from Japan. And
wonderful world we live in.
This I saw it and it absolutely caught my eye. The artwork on it's absolutely beautiful. It's even got all the original manuals and everything with it. And like when I saw it, like I thought Luke here on the cartridge was actually like pixelated, but that's actually like him. It's not pixelated. It's actually almost looks like a picture. I mean, not an actual picture of Mark Hamill, you know, but it's not pixelated like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a beautiful, beautiful piece.
I love that damn coat.
Yeah.
Pac-Man. That's crazy. It's all shiny.
That was another thing that caught my eye. Was just it is very, very shiny. Very shiny.
One of the cartridge is even shiny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a nice chrome cartridge. Even on top of the cartridge, look at it says Star Wars and it has Luke.
That's neat.
Really unique piece, and like I bet you the American version doesn't look as good as this for the Nintendo, you know, because like I have a bunch of.
If there even was a American.
There probably was, but like I have a lot of American versions and then Japanese versions of games, and some of the Japanese covers are just so much more like artistic and beautiful looking, but that's just how it is.
It's funny how different games will look completely different just by the cover art, the way they have to market it in different parts of the world.
Yep, yeah. It's pretty wild. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Now you just need a Famicom so you can hook it up.
Yeah, I mean can't read Japanese, but I can learn.
You know the movie.
I can figure it out.
Oh, alright. Let's see.
How many more do you got?
3.
Alright, well, hold on. I have 3 also. Okay.
Alright. Stub The Zombie.
I've never seen video footage of this, but I've never played it.
This is silly. It was made by, I believe, the people who made Halo originally. This is a remake by THQ Nordic, who did the remake of Kingdoms of Amalur. Well, they port. It's not really a remake. But this was an Xbox exclusive for years, so I never got to play it. I didn't have an original Xbox until recently.
Oh, so that was originally on the first gen Xbox? Really?
Because it was made on the Halo engine.
Okay.
So, yeah, they only released it on Xbox. But you're basically a salesman in the 50s, like a door-to-door salesman. You get attacked, turned into a zombie, and then you have to go around eating brains and ripping. You can rip out your organs and throw like noxious gas bombs, which is your stomach, into crowds. You can rip your hand off like Thing from the Addams Family and possess like security guards and have them like shoot people for you and other zombies.
But you're a salesman. Are you still trying to sell stuff, or now you're just trying to?
No, now you're just trying to be a zombie. and it's set in like an old school like 50s like perfect town.
Yeah.
People in like poodle skirts and shit and like. But yeah, this came out last year. It was finally ported, I think.
Oh wow.
And it was only like $20 brand new, and I was like, oh, I can finally add this to my collection, because the original copy for the Xbox is ridiculous.
Oh, it's one of those games.
Yeah. It had gone way up in price. It was like $60-$70 for the disc.
Dude, I didn't tell you. I have 2 of them. No.
Yeah. Okay. But that, I mean, if you play it now, you can tell it's still clearly an original Xbox game. A lot of the environments are very empty. There's not really a whole lot to do, as far as like, it's not heavily detailed, but it's still a fun, just silly game to play.
Cool.
Alright. Oh, you said $20.
Scoop this up. Take it out just so clearness doesn't mess it up. But this is a Nintendo Power Strategy Guide for Final Fantasy #1, and it's official. Like, it is the whole game, front to back.
So that's what, 1990?
1990 this is from, yeah.
32-year-old book.
Like, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, alright, you know, like sometimes there's strategies in magazines where it's like, here's the first 3 chapters. No, this is literally the
like
whole
a 10
game.
page pullout or something.
Yeah, this is literally the whole game front to back. And it's not a reproduction because it smells 30-something years old. Like, it's legit. And, like, when I was flipping through this, I was like, this makes me want to go through and play this game front to back again. Because I don't have the strategy guide for this. I have, 7, 8, 9, 10, like a bunch of them, but I don't have this one. And now it makes me want to go back and play this game again.
I mean, that's the cool thing, too, about strategy guides. Like, sure, now, 2022, you can look everything up online.
Mm-hmm.
You have, GameFAQs, you have Reddit, you have Google. You can find anything you want to find.
Yeah, YouTube, all that stuff.
There's something just cooler about having, the tactile, physical item in your hand, and being able to flip through the book and, have it there, not have to go look stuff up. You're like, oh, I have the book right here.
Like, the first time I played through Final Fantasy VII, hey, look, special item, the herb. The first time I played through 7, like, I beat that game probably 2 or 3 times, and then I acquired the strategy guide, and then I literally mastered that game. I would be in the back in the materia section, oh, I got this one, yeah, okay, I got this item. Like, I literally have a file where it's basically almost 100%. I think I'm literally missing one item. Every file I try to do that, I always miss one thing. But
is it the same thing every time?
No, sometimes it's little things here and there. But just having that physical strategy guide in your hand, it's the coolest thing. And like, I made a vow whenever I play a game now, it's like, I'll play through it. And then once I beat it, I'll acquire the strategy guide and play through the strategy guide. And it's like playing the game for the first time again because there's things that you miss. The side quests. Like, I don't know if it really applies to like, look, let's say Need for Speed. I have the strategy guide for Need for Speed Underground. There's really nothing hidden in that game. I mean, it's a racing game.
Yeah,
but
it can't tell you, oh, level up your car and you'll beat this race.
Yeah. So, but like RPGs, 100%, the strategy guide just makes it so much fun to be able. Me and him are old school. Being able to hold this in your hand and oh, let me see if I can find this part real quick. Oh, I gotta get that. Like it makes it more satisfying. But
100%.
I think I only got this for like $25, I think it was, or something. And I was like, you know what? I'm grabbing it. But like I said, complete Final Fantasy collection. Here's another piece added to it.
And that would have to be included, yeah.
Yep.
And that's what's great too, because we play a lot of RPGs.
Oh yeah.
RPGs, horror. It's kind of mainly where we aim, but we're collectors for everything. But yeah, like with the strategy guides, if I get a new RPG, I won't look at a book, I won't look anything up, I will play the game blind and do what I can and go through it that way. And then, after I beat it, and I get to the point where, okay, now I'm going to go back and see what I missed. Just like you said, then you pull out the book.
Yeah.
And, you can look up and find little secrets and things you missed. Try to find everything while you're playing anyway, but there's always stuff that you don't realize until after.
Like, perfect example is, I've been playing Elden Ring, and that game, it blows my mind how much is in that game and how much doing this one thing affects all these little things. And I mean, I know there's no strategy guide for that game at all.
No.
But that just, it shows, like, even older games are kind of like that, It really depends on the game that you play.
And strangely enough, that was actually one of the points the guy, one of the heads when he made Demon Souls and then Dark Souls, was because he wanted to rekindle that feeling of the older games, where there was no hand-holding. There was no, oh, just go here, map marker, point you this way, there's a big glowing arrow on the screen. You had to play it and figure it out yourself. You had to actually pay attention and learn the game while you were playing it. And that was, a lot of people complaining that those games are hard. They can be.
Yeah, they can be, yeah.
The point wasn't to make them hard, the point was to go back to the way games used to be.
It's more immersive, doing it that way.
More immersive because it doesn't tell you, oh, go over there and collect 3 herbs. You just go and play the game.
Yep.
And if you get to a point where somebody asks you for 3 herbs, well, either you had them because you picked them up, or now you know where to go back and get them because you've been through there.
That's like the Elder Scrolls. You know, the third one was completely, it didn't hold your hand. Morrowind, I believe. Oblivion kind of did. And then Skyrim, I think Skyrim's a fun game, but that literally holds your hand. But you can see, my friend was telling me, you can see elements of Morrowind and Skyrim in Oblivion. And to him, Oblivion is the best of those three. Because Oblivion, it kind of holds your hand, but then it still has the elements of Morrowind where it doesn't. Like, there's still things that, like, hey, we're not going to tell you where to go. Like, you got to figure this out on your own. But there are some things where it does, you know. So, I have them both. I've played, I think, just a smidgen of Oblivion. I've never really dove into it yet. But I think at one point I will.
I remember the first time I played Morrowind, I got arrested for sleeping in bed. Because there was just a bed there in an inn, and I was like, oh, I'm going to sleep there. Nope, that doesn't belong to you. Arrested. Going to jail.
Going to jail.
Alright. These two, I just picked this one up. I've been looking at this and following the release date for over a year.
I heard that game sucks. Okay.
No, you didn't. Somebody lied to you.
Yeah.
Madison. This is, as far as I can tell from everything I've seen about it, effectively PT. Now, PT...
Physical therapy? You're going to need that after this game, right?
I mean, you might need some therapy. I don't know, physical. But
PT was that thing supposedly with the Silent Hill
Silent Hills
remake. Silent Hills, yeah.
With Norman Reedus.
Yep.
That was a big first person. Basically, it was a playable teaser, and it was dropped mysteriously in the PlayStation Store out of nowhere. And people started downloading it and found out it was a puzzle, and people fought through it and tried to figure it out. And when you did figure out the puzzle, that's when you got the little hint of a trailer to Silent Hills with Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Then Hideo Kojima and Konami kind of went their separate ways.
Yeah.
Konami pulled it off the PlayStation Store, dead in the water, never to be seen again. People would copies of PT downloaded on the PS4. They're selling them for $500-$600. Just having that demo on there.
Yeah.
Because you can't get it anymore. And people were even when the PS5 came out, people who had that in their account tried to download it to the PS5, and Konami sent out like a code to a letter to PlayStation, made them block it so you can't even download it on your PS5. Even if you already had it in your account from years ago, you can't download that to your PS5. They're trying to cut that off completely. So ever since, people have been trying to get a hold and play it because you always want the thing you can't have.
Yep.
So people have been trying to remake it in different ways. Effectively, from my understanding, it's very much like a PT clone, kind of mixed with Fatal Frame.
Does that say the Possessed Edition?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And it comes with basically your weapon is a camera.
Kind of like Fatal Frame,
very
right?
Fatal Frame. Yes, you walk through very dark areas. You'll see something that's a dark hallway. You take a picture of it, and then it actually prints out like a little piece of like film, like a
Polaroid.
Polaroid.
Yeah,
that's the word I'm trying to think of. It'll print out a Polaroid, and in the game you have to go like this, like you used to with the Polaroids, to get it to develop, and then you can see what's actually in front of you. There could be nothing there. There could be a creature there.
Yeah.
But you don't know while you're waiting. You're just looking in the darkness, shaking that Polaroid, trying to figure it out.
Oh, that's creepy. That's real creepy.
I'm really, really stoked to play this. Like I said, I've been watching it for over a year, and this Possessed Edition, it comes with a little book about the story of Blue Knees. It's kind of creepy. But in it, there are actually weird tarot. Oh yes, there are Polaroids that it comes with.
Oh, cool. Now, is that like actual game footage?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is creepy.
Those are what it looks like when you take the pictures in the game and they develop.
So like you're sitting there doing this and all of a sudden that develops.
Yep.
Can you see that? Can you see that?
Get up close to that.
That is creepy. Oh my god. That is...
I am wicked stoked to get into that.
This is one of those games that you play with the lights off.
You put the lights off with a pair of headphones or surround sound.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, right?
I'm super, super excited to play that. Yeah,
Strictly PS5 too, correct?
I think it's on 4.
Really? Let's look into that.
I think so. It just came out Tuesday. So.
Alright, my next one. Do you know what this is, Chris?
I do know what this is.
Yes.
Because you told me that.
Yeah. So, the WonderSwan.
This is effectively the first Game Boy.
Yep. Only released in Japan. A gentleman was actually selling that on eBay for $1. Doesn't know if it works. I was like, I don't care, I want one. But Final Fantasy 1 and 2 are on the first. Actually, no, it's the WonderSwan Color that they're on. That's just a regular one. But I have Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on the WonderSwan Color. These two straight from Japan, complete in box, have everything. Let's see. Oh, be gentle.
Very good.
Very gentle. Yeah, I mean, they have the manuals, and then the actual cartridge looks like that.
That's so crazy.
And a WonderSwan Color I do not have yet. I do want to acquire one. I was looking for copies of this game for a very long time, and then somebody was selling both of these together for a very good price, and I was like, yes, I'm jumping on that right away.
Yeah, you had to grab that too.
But the WonderSwan Color that these actually play on, they released a Final Fantasy edition of it, and I was like, oh, I really want that, but those are up there in price. So, hopefully, at one point I can find somebody selling them for cheap, like I found somebody selling these for cheap. And then add those to the collection as well. These are going to go back where they belong.
Where they belong.
Right there. Chris, why'd you let that happen?
I figured it would just float, you know?
But, and yeah, the little WonderSwan. This thing's actually really cool because you can play it like this, but then you can play it like this. There's different types of games where the screen is horizontal or vertical. So I thought it was a really unique little system. Honestly, I don't think this does work. I put a battery in it. I don't think it turns on. It's broken, so it's more of a display piece. But for $1 now, I have one in my collection, which I can't go wrong with that.
It didn't even turn on at all when you put a battery in?
No, it didn't do anything. So I believe it's completely busted. But it's not like it broke my bank account to get one. So
$1.
Yeah, $1. You can't go wrong with that.
And
it's only a single AA it takes too. That's all it takes. Just one AA battery.
Yeah, I like that the cover for it. It's neat. I'm surprised that's still there.
Yeah.
Because most handheld anything, that's usually what goes missing first. Is the battery cover.
Yep.
The last thing I got is, I picked this up several months ago when it came out. I did play the demo, but I haven't played this yet, and I severely need to play the full game. This is Tormented Souls, and this is effectively, let's see if Kevin has one too.
Yeah, it's funny that he brought that because I'm looking at one right now in an auction. Oh, 3 more hours. Okay. I got time.
So basically this is old school tank controls, Resident Evil, Silent Hill style gameplay. You get a letter in the mail, a mysterious letter from this asylum or hospital, and you go there, you're this young girl, and you go there to investigate and figure out why they sent you this letter with a picture of these 2 girls on it. And upon walking in the hospital, you get hit over the head, and you get knocked out, and you wake up in a bathtub, naked, missing an eyeball.
It sounds like she partied too hard.
I mean, she went to the wrong party for sure.
Yeah.
Either way. But then you have to figure out that mystery. But the gameplay is very looking for puzzle pieces, looking for... It's just like old school Resident Evil, Silent Hill.
You gotta figure out the puzzle to continue on, pretty much.
Puzzles, the map is like... Instead of having one with you at the beginning, there's a map on the wall. So you have to walk by the map and look at it and be like, okay, I need to go that way. But you walk 3 rooms away, you don't have a map with you. So if you're like, oh, you get turned around and lost, you have to go back and look at the map again and try, like, it doesn't hold your hand like new games.
Yeah.
It's very, very much the feel. There's another...
Helplessness, you can kind of say, you know? That's cool.
You start out with no weapon. I know at some point you do pick up a nail gun, and you can shoot nail guns at creatures.
An abandoned mansion in a hunt for missing twin girls. Fiendish puzzle.
Yeah, it's pretty screwed up. That's another one you play in the dark.
Hell yeah.
Alone.
That's so funny you brought that because like I'm actually like it popped in my memories on Facebook like a trailer for that, and then I was like, oh, I remember this. So now I'm waiting to bid one on eBay in an auction.
Camera angles, just everything is that feel. You know, for a long time people said, oh, survival horror is dead, tank controls are dead, you can't do any of that now, it's past its time. That's not true, and this game proves that. It absolutely can be done, and is done incredibly well in this game.
Tormented Souls.
Tormented Souls.
Oh yeah.
It's another, if you want a better review of it, actually, there's a guy on YouTube as well, Avalanche Reviews. This was Jared. He put up a video review of this. Highly recommend checking out his channel and checking out that video if you want more in-depth, because this game is incredible as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hope I acquire it because I really want it.
It was only like $30, I think, new. I pre-ordered it.
This is my last one. Resident Evil 2 for the N64. Now this by far...
That has been a work in...
this was a work in progress.
Yeah.
It's a brand new case. It is a reproduction, I believe. It doesn't say it anywhere on it, but I have a brand new case, a brand new manual, a brand new cartridge, and a protective case around it. The actual shell that it's in is reproduction, but the internals are from an original Resident Evil 2 game.
Yeah, the case was just messed up and
the case that it came in was messed up, so I took it apart and I put it in a reproduction. So the internals are actually original, but I don't plan on reselling. I just think it looks really good and clean, and also the fact that the Resident Evil 2 on the N64 is the most unique port of this game. There's things on this version that aren't any other version. You can change the color of the blood.
Blood in different colors.
You know, blue, green, and red.
Yep.
You can select how violent it is from low, medium, and high, where high is, decapitations happen, limbs fly off, there's a lot of gore. Medium is, no decapitations, but gore, and then low is literally, there's no blood or anything.
Yeah, there's hardly any blood at all in the game that way.
There's actually more to the story, the lore of Resident Evil. Like, there's actually documents hidden throughout the game that hint towards Code Veronica.
They added more stuff. The company that made that, they were magicians.
Yeah,
they had to be.
There's also a randomizer. Now, in order to unlock the randomizer, you have to beat Leon and Claire's first and second scenarios, and then unlocks the randomizer where every single item in the game, except for key items that you actually need to complete the game, like, in the beginning when you first walk into the gun shop and there's the case of bullets, that could turn into 50 Magnum rounds, or it could be the Magnum or a grenade launcher. Like, it randomizes all the items.
Definitely makes it, replayability up there.
That too. There is like, I remember you had to beat it in a certain amount of time or something, like to unlock Hunk and Tofu. Not in this version. You can just put in codes in the load screen. We just put in cheat codes on the N64 controller, unlocks those modes. You have cheat codes for infinite life, cheat codes for infinite ammo.
What's funny is all those things are unlockable with cheat codes, but the randomizer is still locked behind actually beating the game 4
Yeah,
times.
you have to beat the game 4 times to unlock that, which I'm like, all right, whatever. It's still a fun game to play.
Well,
And it's unbelievable too, like you mentioned earlier, like how they did this, because the PlayStation version was 2 discs. That's like, I think it was 1.4 gigs.
yeah, about 700 megs each disc. Yeah. for CDs.
This here is 63 megabytes. It's less than half of what it originally was. And it has everything in it. There's a couple small things here and there that they actually took out, like some of the VMAs. Like there's a part where Claire says a line in the PlayStation version, but she doesn't say it in this version.
Well, they had to cut audio, yeah, because of the space it took up.
But to me, this is the most unique version of this game because what was it that they gave them $1 million in 2 years or something to create this?
$2 million in a year, I think.
$2 million in a year to create this, and I think it's the most unique version of this game because there's things on it that aren't in any other version.
It's funny you said that's down to 63 megs.
Yeah, 63 megabytes.
You could fit that file 11 times on one PlayStation disc.
Yeah,
and you would have needed 2 discs for the whole game the first time.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And so I have loaded this up. I have started playing it, and my goal is to get the randomizer unlock to check that out. Because I was watching a video about somebody who had that, and they were like, "Oh, look at this! I picked up 72 Magnum rounds." And then I was like, "Well, it looks like that's the gun you're going to use for the rest of the game now."
Yeah, right.
But I can't wait to actually check out the randomizer. So that was some of our game pickups and some of our unique favorite games that we wanted to talk about.
For our first video.
First video, you mean, everybody says it, but like and subscribe, share, like and subscribe.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, smash that like button.
Punch a hole in it. It's fine, really.
Do whatever the hell you want. We don't really care. If you can, leave a comment and tell us what your favorite game was too, and let us know some of your favorites. Anything you'd like us to talk about. And
we between the two of us have basically every system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're going to be covering all kinds of things everywhere from Atari to the PS5, everything in between. We plan on doing more collection videos. We can do streaming at some point. We'll be playing some games probably together. Recording of that. Do some of our little exploration where we go out to, retro game stores, do some pickups live out in the world, as it were.
Yeah, we figured just for our first video we do something like this. Like he was saying, though, we're gonna expand, do streaming, do game pickups, do collecting, just a mixture of everything. But
all right, I think that'll be about it.
I think so too.